Oh, Jesus. What are you doing? Why are you staring at a calendar?
Thinking of the amount of time left that we still have to play with Adamancipator at full power. What's up, everybody? This is Brian.
And I'm Logan, and this is Tops.
Sup.
And this is Bottoms. Sup. And we're Fresh Cards! Hi, team. Happy Monday, my beautiful daisies.
So today we are going to be bringing you our updated Adamancipator deck profile. I don't know if you really call it Adamancipator or just like Super Rock Turbo or whatever you want to call this deck.
Ultra Mega Rocks with 9 Adamancipator cards.
Solid rocks, brother. So with some locals starting to open back up, a lot of games starting to happen again, and in real life Yu-Gi-Oh! Is starting to take place again, we wanted to showcase some of the best decks, if not the best deck out there, in our take on it, with just some of the new cards and some of the new support that has come out recently.
So a few days ago, I put a poll up on the community page asking what deck profiles you guys would like to see this week, because I always like your input, and there was an overwhelming amount for Chaos Thunder, which don't worry, we hear you, we see you, it's going up Wednesday, but today I wanted to give the underdog some justice, and we're going to do Adamancipator, and Dragon Maids will be following suit very shortly, so don't worry, they're all coming. And Wednesday we'll be announcing the giveaway winner too, so make sure you tune in to Chaos Thunder Nemesis giveaway turbo. It's gonna be great.
But that being said, let's get into the main extra, and of course the side deck will always be on Patreon for anyone who is interested. The links are in the description box down below, and while you guys head down there, we just want to ask you to take 10 seconds and subscribe to the channel if you're not already subscribed. Throw this video a like and comment what you think of this deck.
We also have an Instagram, it's at CrushCardsYGO. We're on there all the time, posting all sorts of things, answering messages, hanging out. It's Instagram. And then we also have a Discord, which is a really wholesome, lovely community. We just started our summer book club in the Discord. It's really fun. So if you want to read or you like to read, there's a whole channel where we're talking about books, and we have a Google Doc of all the books we want to read. It's super cute. And then if you want to further support the channel and see the side deck, all you have to do is be a patron. No worries though. I'm just happy you're here. All the links are in the description. Love ya.
That being said, let's get right into the profile. So starting off the deck lineup, we have our Adamancipator, which are triple copies of Adamancipator Researcher. Researcher is obviously your best Adamancipator monster. All of the Adamancipator have the same exact effect where you can activate it and then mill the top 5 cards of your deck, and if you see a non-tuner rock monster, you get to special summon that monster to your side of the field. The only difference is their summoning condition, and Adamancipator Researcher allows you to special summon herself from the hand if you control any rock monster. It's just super generic, super easy to get on field, and that's why she's the best. It's also good to note that all the Adamancipator are tuners.
And then we're playing 3 Adamancipator Seeker. Yeah, I put those out really poorly. Everything's fine. Adamancipator Seeker is just like Researcher, except you can only special summon him from the hand if you already control an Adamancipator monster. It can be any Adamancipator, and then he has the same effect where you can activate him in order to excavate the top 5 cards of your deck. And if it's a rock non-tuner, you can special summon it. Isn't that cool? He's like Researcher, but not as good because you have to basically control an Adamancipator monster already. Wow.
And then, hot take, we are only playing 2 Adamancipator Analyzer. Analyzer is basically like the Cyber Dragon for the deck. He says if only your opponent controls a monster, you can special summon this card from the hand, which is okay. Gives you some really cool going second options. This deck already goes second really, really well. So Adamancipator Analyzer, same thing. Excavate the top 5, special summon a rock monster. If you hit it, it's not a tuner. And yeah, he's just utility. It's really cool. It's a good extender, but it's definitely not one of your play starters.
I just imagine them like digging for rocks, and like, because they have to hit a non-tuner, I just imagine every time they hit a tuner, it's like, oh, and it's like, nope, not that one.
And then for the rest of the Adamancipator monsters, we are playing the 1 Adamancipator Crystal Dragite. This card literally just says, if it is special summoned off of an Adamancipator card, draw 1 card. It's a level 4, a lot of synergy with the deck, and it's just a +1. You don't need to play this card, but drawing a card is never a bad option. So, and that's it. That's the deck, folks. Wraps it up for the Adamancipator monsters.
Thanks for coming. I hope you had fun.
And then on to our supplemental engine. We are playing the Go Go Go, Goo Goo Goo, Ga Ga Ga, whatever engine still. We are playing triple double copies of Go 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 Gigas. Now, I know that a lot of people seem to be playing the Unexpected Die version of the deck. As much as we do like that deck, we have tried it online, and it just doesn't seem to work as much for us. It's a really, really good deck, still very powerful, but you don't play as many rock monsters. A lot of them are more kind of bricky, so off of your excavations, these are more guaranteed, and they just special summon themselves and just allow you so much more utility. So the Go 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 engine is definitely the way that we have chosen to go, even through, no pun intended. So Go 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 Giga says that while this card is in your graveyard, if you special summon a Go 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 monster, except during the damage step, you could special summon this card from your graveyard in face-up defense position. The reason that this card is so good is because it doesn't even specify itself. So you could special summon this off of an excavation, and then if you already have one in your graveyard, you can just get it back again. They all just special summon themselves. It's so, so good. Damir's still choosing to play double copies of the Dododo Go 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 Dwarf Gloves, whatever this card is. Says during your main phase, you could special summon one Zubaba or Gagaga monster from your hand. So once again, all of these cards just special summon themselves. We still are playing the Searcher card, so we'll show the combo at the end of the video. Make sure you guys stick around for the combo tutorial. And then another really cool thing is that while this card is in your graveyard, if you control a Go 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 or Dododo monster, except this card, you can special summon this card from your graveyard. So once again, such utility. The cards just special summon themselves. They special summon each other. Like, the amount of advantage that you get off of these cards past turn 1 is ridiculous, which is why we've chosen to play this engine.
Yeah, it's ridiculous how easy it is to spam a board with this deck, which is kind of why we like it so much. And you most of the time don't even have to commit to a normal summon, but if you do, it's usually Go 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 Glove. But even then, sometimes you don't even have to worry about it.
And then for the rest of the small lineup, we are playing the one Go 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 Giant, the one Zubababancho Gagaga Kot, and then the Onomonic Utopic Onomatopoeia. Man, that's a mouthful.
You were on a roll until you got to Onomatopoeia.
So Go 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 Giant says that when this card is normal summon, you can target one Go 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 monster in your graveyard and then special summon that target in defense position. The reason that we do play this card at 1 is because our Onomatopoeia allows us to discard a card. So if we discard any of the other Go 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 monsters, we can still normal summon this and then automatically have 2 bodies on field. It's just really, really, really strong. The Zubaba Gagaga Gancho Coat, whatever, says that if you control a Zubaba or Gagaga monster, except this card, while this card is in your hand, you can special summon this card. So there it is, same exact line of play. Everything just special summons itself. And then the Utopic Onomatopoeia says that this card is treated as a Zubaba, Gagaga, Go Go Go, or Dododo card. So they're literally all the same. Like, this becomes everything that you need. So it meets all the conditions of everything on the field that you would need or in your hand. Like, once again, they just special summon themselves. It's ridiculous.
I really think the people who designed these cards were like, we know people do deck profiles on YouTube. Let's make it so that they'll sound like absolute fools while they do their video.
And that's it for the small engine there.
For the mouthful.
Then we go into some very strange but really, really good extenders. We are playing the triple copies of Quaki Miru Guardian. This is not something we were initially playing, but in testing, this card is actually really, really strong. This card says that during each of your end phases, destroy this card unless you basically can reveal a rock monster in your hand, which if you're playing a rock deck, everything is a freaking rock, so you're never gonna have to worry about that. But the real reason we played this card is because when a monster effect is activated, it does not have to be on field, it doesn't have to be in the graveyard, it can be anywhere. So Nibiru, Ash, any sort of monster interaction. Quick effect, tribute this card, negate the activation, and then destroy that monster. So this card gets rid of the problem, and it also stops your opponent from Nibiruing you, for stopping your combo plays. Like, this is just really good insurance as you try to build your board. We are playing still the double copy of Doki Doki. I still think that this card is almost worth playing at 3. There's just not enough space in the deck. Doki Doki is probably one of your best starter cards if you don't open up anything, but realistically you're opening everything every turn, because this deck is just ridiculously consistent. But Doki Doki's effect says that you can discard one rock monster and then special summon from your deck one rock monster that has the same original type and level as the card discarded. And the really cool thing about that is it doesn't specify that it can't be itself. So if you discard a Quaki Miru Guardian, you can literally just special summon another Quaki Miru Guardian, or you can special summon any other rock level 4 monster directly from your deck.
Yeah, or if you, like, say you have an Analyze Analyzer in hand and you're like, oh, Analyzer's a dead card in my hand because I'm going first, guess what? You can discard it off Doki Doki and just special summon it anyway and get your excavations. Isn't that fun?
It's really good.
Isn't archaeology fun?
And it also helps with the Go 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 engine, as you can put Go 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 cards into your graveyard so that you can trigger them either later on in the turn or in mid to late game to kind of extend further. Then next, we are playing double copies of Tackle Crusader. This is kind of a spicy tech card that people have been trying out ever since the PPG tournament. Tackle Crusader is a really, really interesting card. It literally is just a level 4 rock monster, but it does offer you the utility that if this card is sent to the graveyard, so if that's as a material, or if it's just sent from the graveyard by linking away, or any of that cool stuff, target one face-up monster your opponent controls, change that target to face-down defense position, so it can help you get over problematic monsters going second. And it also has the other option, because you can only choose one, where you can target one face-up spell or trap card your opponent controls, return that target to the hand. So it kind of gets rid of floodgates really quick if you need to, just right then and there if you're in a pinch. So this card is really, really strong at 2. A lot of people are choosing to play it at 3, but it has kind of been a little bricky for us, so we decided to drop it down to 2 copies. It's really, really working well. Then we are playing the 1 copy of Gigantes. This is just a level 4 rock monster that special summons itself by banishing an earth monster in your graveyard. Absolutely ridiculous. Super duper free, super duper great extender. Level 4, I mean, like, this card is literally everything you could ever ask for. This card's insane. And then the big boss daddy himself, we are playing double copies of Block Dragon. This may honestly be one of the best cards in the entire deck. However, this deck does not need Block Dragon to play. Say that again. Deck doesn't need Block Dragon to play. It's a win more card. It helps. It does the deck so much more justice than it already needs. But Block Dragon does not need to be in this deck. This deck can play totally fine without Block Dragon.
It's just a big old extender.
Yeah.
Big old blocky boy.
It just gives you resources back to your hand. It offers you a little bit more protection here and there. But if and when this card does get hit on the ban list, this card is not going to hinder the deck all that much not being here, which is why we're only playing it at 2. We're honestly just trying to like discipline ourselves and not have 3 copies in the deck. You can't search this card. If you do open it, it's really good, but you don't need it, which is why we're only choosing to play this card at 2 to try to condition ourselves and condition the deck in the way that it functions to just play around not actually having Block Dragon all the time. It forces you to be more creative, and it forces you to actually do lines of play that you typically wouldn't have to do if you had Block Dragon. So it's here if you need it, and if you don't, you could still play totally fine.
Hey, bud. How's it feel to still be at 3? Feels good? Feels good.
We are still playing triple copies of Tenyi Spirit at Hara. This card is really, really strong because it is literally just an earth monster that special summons itself for free if there are no effect monsters on the side of the field, and it's a tuner. Realistically, why we played this card? Because it's a tuner. It's a free special summonable tuner, and it's an earth monster.
I'm sorry, what is it? Is it a tuner? Did you say it's a tuner?
It's a tuner.
I know, you said it like 4 times.
Well,
I'm
yeah.
making fun of you.
I'm just saying, it's really good. This deck revolves around tuners. Needle fiber.
Oh wow, this deck plays Needle Fiber. Who would have guessed? Look, it's Olion. Oh my god. Okay, also, hot take. I literally didn't realize until like today years old that like, it's a lion. He's literally a lion. Like you can see his little mouth and his little rah and his little eyes. It took me forever to realize that, so don't judge me, but if you didn't notice, now you notice. I know there's a penguin one too, that one's really cute, but this one was far less obvious to me. But yeah, Olion, he's your Needle Fiber target for the deck.
Really, really good card. And it gets you a token. For anyone who doesn't know, whenever it leaves the field, you get a level 3 token. Absolutely ridiculous. Super, super good.
And because this is Yu-Gi-Oh! And everything's unfair, we are playing the Buster Lock, not by choice, but by necessity. In case you weren't sure what the Buster Dragon Boy Whelp thing does, whenever he's equipped to a monster, your opponent cannot special summon from the extra deck.
Seems fair.
Big sad.
And then for our search cards, we're playing triple copies of Automata Pyra and then double copies of the Automata Pickup. So Automata Pickup searches the Automata Pyra, and then Automata Pyra allows you to send 1 card from your hand to the graveyard, which is really, really good because it allows you to get any of your combo pieces out of your hand into your graveyard, which is where some of them need to be regardless. And then you get to search up to 2 Zubaba, Gagaga, Go-Go-Go, or Do-Do-Do monsters directly from your deck to your hand. So there is your play starter and your extender directly from your deck to your hand. It's really, really good. And then the only reason we're playing Pickup at 2 is because it is kind of Ash baity, so you can still do it. You don't really want to eat an Ash. You want to have your board more established and have protection before you go and search a lot of cards, or it can just help you if you know that you can extend through a hand trap to just bait the hand trap and then play through it afterwards. So these cards really, really good, really, really strong, and they search one of your main engines.
And then the last 3 cards in the deck are our Reborn. So we have obviously the 1 Monster Reborn, the fantastic extender, always a great card to have in the deck. And then we have 2 Adamancipator signs, which basically just says target 1 rock monster in your graveyard, special summon it in defense position. Then if you special summon an Adamancipator monster by this effect, you can take a level 4 4 or lower rock monster from your deck and place it on the top of your deck. Wow. So not only do you get to reborn, but you also get to stack your deck if you choose an Adamancipator monster. So that's pretty cool. So if you somehow had an Adamancipator engraved that you haven't used yet, or you pitched it and then you could reborn it, get its mill effect, and then you could have just stacked it and then gotten that off the mill. Wow.
Or if you just need a level 2 tuner also, because that happens.
Wow. There's so much extension that can come off of this one card. I don't think you need a 3. 2 is great. Look at all these reborns. Time for the extra deck. Whee!
Obviously, we're playing the most generic and most busted card in the entire game right now. We are playing the one Link Cross. Link Cross is literally just a Link 1 that requires 1 Link, 2 or higher Link monster, and then you special summon level 1 light tokens up to the Link rating that was used for this. So like we'll show it in the combo, but if you use a Link 2, you get 2 materials. Use a Link 3, you get 3 materials. The only stipulation is they can't be used for a Link material that turn.
Whack!
That turn. They can still be used next turn. Like, it's ridiculous.
Busted.
And then we are playing the 1 copy of, oh my god, is that an ulti? Oh, Link Spider.
Look at my little boy. He was in my frogs, but that deck's not great right now, so he's in this deck now.
The reason we're playing the Link Spider, it is just part of the combo you guys will see, but you link away your token underneath the Link Cross, and then because they're both Cerberus monsters, it allows you to make the unique carrier. So this card is essential for the combo, and if your opponent gives you a Nibiru or you get Nibiru, this allows you to extend and play through it because this can just link away the token, and then now you have a down arrow, you can continue your Link plays and just play on for free. So Link Spider, really good in the deck.
He's a good boy.
Speaking of really good in the deck, whoa. Do we need to say what this card does?
Noodles.
Everyone knows what this card does.
My
This card is
favorite
ridiculous.
bowl of soup.
Yeah, 2 monsters including a tuner, which is half of your deck. And yeah, special summons a level 3 lower tuner directly from your deck to your side of the field. Super duper good, super duper ridiculous. This card is, oh whoa! This card is totally fair. Like everyone thinks this card seems to be a problem. It does allow really degenerate plays, but like I think we just need to learn to play around the card. Wow. Look at those sleeves.
Those are really pretty, I'm not gonna lie. Stay tuned because guess what? You'll see them get unboxed in tomorrow's video. Ooh!
My son. Next, we're playing the 1 copy of IP Masquerena.
I love you, IP. You're perfect. They'll never change. Don't let anyone tell you you're not the best thing in the world.
IP just allows us to link someone on our opponent's turn. Just provides more interruption. Really, really good card. Playing the unique carrier because of the Buster Lock. Super duper good, super duper strong. Your opponent can't play the game. This card's unfair.
Really easy. You run a bunch of rocks, you know.
We do play the 1 copy of Nightmare Cerberus. Now this is honestly probably the only flex spot in the extra deck, but in testing this is probably the best card. Not only is it an Earth monster for your Block Dragon or your Gigantes or whatever, but this card pops a special summon monster on your opponent's side of the field. Really, really good to help you go second. It also allows you to draw a card if you do that while it is co-linked. Like, this card literally offers you everything. I know that Cerberus has kind of fallen out of favor, but in this deck, being in Earth, being able to pop cards, discard cards, generic link to, really, really good. Highly recommend Cerberus in this deck. And then speaking of nightmares, we are playing the 1 unicorn.
I'm right here, don't worry.
This card is link summon, discard a card, spin a card down the field back to the deck. Really, really good. Generic spot removal, super duper strong. 1 Appaloosa, link 4, absolutely ridiculous card. Everyone knows what this card does. Not a hard once per turn, negates stuff your opponent can't play. That's the theme of this deck. The theme of this deck is your opponent can't play.
You can't play, and here's like 67 extenders.
Yeah, Appaloosa's nuts.
Boral Sword!
We are choosing to play Boral Sword right now still. A lot of people are now dropping Sword for access code Talker, but this deck just spits out so many monsters past turn 1 if you play the deck correctly. And access code, as good as it is, sometimes still isn't an OTK if your opponent has Interruption. So this allows you to play through Interruption and just kill your opponent in 1 shot on the follow-up. It's such a good card. You don't need it, but it is definitely a card that I think in testing has come up more than we thought it would. So Boral Sword in this extra deck, still pretty mandatory. And then it also does just allow you to go second, spam the board, clear board, and then just kill your opponent right there, no problem. And then on to the synchros, we are playing the 1 Martial Metal Marcher, the 1 Herald of Arclight, the 1 Adamancipator Risen Raptite, and of course, the Borreload Savage Dragon. Everyone should know what these cards do, but if you don't, this allows you to special summon a tuner directly from your graveyard back to your side of the field. Super free, super busted. This card is honestly probably one of the biggest problems in the game. Herald of Arclight is not only a floodgate, but an omni negate. It allows you to tribute itself to negate the activation of any card, and then anything set from the hand or deck is banished instead of sent to the graveyard. Ridiculous. Raptite is really, really good because it is the same effect as the Adamancipator cards.
Except you don't have to mill a non-tuner. You can mill a tuner and then still special summon it.
really good. Like, the card is insane. It gives you so much more extension. And then the Borreload Savage Dragon, I mean, it's the best synchro in the game right now. Like, you have to play this card. There is no budget alternative for this card. This card is worth the $100. Buy the card. And then off into our Xyz, we are playing the 1 Gallic Grand Knight and then the 1 Abyss Dweller. This just searches any rock monster directly from your deck to your hand, and then Abyss Dweller tells your opponent that they can't play with the graveyard. So really, really good. Like, you can't play the deck. That's what this is. So that being said, that is our 15 card extra deck and our 40 card main deck. If you want to see the side deck, it will be on our Patreon, but let's just move straight into the combos.
Yay, test hands!
So while we shuffle, we do want to draw your attention real quick to this super duper cute custom Topps Field Center designed by who?
By me. I did it. It was all me.
Aww. And if you guys want a copy of it, the PayPal link is in the description box down below.
Yeah, and there's 2 choices. You can get Zombie Top, Unizombie Tops, or you can get the OG Crush Cards cute one of just Tops and all the little spores.
Yep, spores. Aw,
Yeah.
that's cute.
They're $10 a piece if you want one. Just make sure you send your address and your name so that I know who you are.
Quantities are very limited.
Yeah, these are super limited right now. I don't have a whole lot because I'm trying to work on a new field center for either July or August, so stay tuned. But if you really want one, just hit us up and you can have one.
Yeah, that being said, let's have our opponent cut and we will see what happens.
All right, you can't brick in this deck because it's all rocks anyway.
Oh my god. First hand, we are going to see our pickup.
Beautiful.
Cute. Oh, that's not great, but that's fine. We're going to see a Doki Doki, a Researcher, and another Researcher.
Full combo.
Still totally not bad at all. Okay, so we are going to activate first our Automata pickup, and we are going to search our Automata Pyra. And now we can literally just do the same thing. We can activate our Pyra, and then we will discard the, we'll discard our Dragite because it will allow us to special summon it later if we do see additional extenders. So the cards that we are gonna search are our Dododo Go 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 Gloves and our Automata Pia. So what we're gonna do now is we are going to normal summon our gloves and then activate the effect. Now the thing that I really like about this deck is even if this card gets negated, you still have the special summon off of Researcher plus the excavation. So it doesn't matter. Everyone says like, oh, if you stop the first thing. No, absolutely doesn't matter. So we are gonna go gloves to activate the effect. Let's say it goes through and we are going to special summon the Automata Pia. And then that being said, now we can just overlay into our Gallic Grand Knight and then we can activate the effect. You always want to detach the gloves because it is an additional extender in your graveyard.
Fact.
We are going to search the Block Dragon here. Even though we don't really need it, it is a win more card and it does allow the combo to go even further. So we are going to attempt to at least showcase that. So on that, we will now special summon our Researcher because we control a rock monster. And then Researcher will activate, excavating the top 5. Wow.
Wow.
Wow, that's really strong. Okay,
yeah.
So we're just gonna grab ourselves a Guardian here.
Guy.
All right, and then that being said, we are just going to now Link Summon.
Noodle Fuber. Look at him.
Now the best part about having this Guardian on the field now is that if your opponent tries to Nibiru you or if they ash you, the Guardian is just an insurance policy to make sure that that doesn't actually go through. So we're gonna just...
Tell me about insurance. I love Geico.
So now we're just gonna activate our Needle Fiber to special summon the Mecha Phantom Beast O-Lion directly from our deck.
Because he's a lion. In case you didn't know.
And then we are going to turn our Needle Fiber into our Link Cross. And now our Link Cross is going to activate special summoning 2 level 1 light link tokens. If you guys are interested in these, you can get them at Cardboard Gaming. The link is in the description box down below, and if you use the discount code CrushCards10, you get 10% off your entire purchase. So now what we can do here is we can synchro summon our 2 and our 1 into our Martial Metal Marcher, and then Martial Metal Marcher will be Chainlink 1 and the O-Lion will be Chainlink 2. The only important thing here that you need to know is that you place the token from O-Lion underneath the Link Cross. And then of course you get back your Mecha Phantom Beast O-Lion. So now we still have insurance, and though we need this as a combo piece, we can use our level 3 and our level 1 to synchro into our Herald of Arclight. And now we have 2 forms of interruption or another insurance policy now that we can get rid of our Guardian. So the next thing that we like to do is we're gonna take our token, we're gonna turn this into our Link Spider, and as we said before in the extra deck section, this is a Cerberus and this is a Cyber, so oh my god.
Oh my god, it's Union Carrier. Carry me to the Union of Love.
What's wrong with you?
I'm tired. It's been a weird day, guys. It's Sunday.
So we do have tons of options now, but the best way that we can go, because we have our insurance policy, is we can sync our 4 and our 2 tuner into our wrap tight, and now we can activate the wrap tight effect.
Yay!
1, 2, 3. Oh my god, are we gonna whiff? 4. No, we're not.
No, we're not.
5.
We never. Ooh, analyzer. Hey, bud.
We're gonna go for the analyzer.
Yes, let's extend more.
So we'll summon the analyzer here, and then you know what, friends? We can now activate analyzer. Let's just dig even further.
Can I do it? All right, we're looking for non-tuners. We're beautiful. Doing great.
Wow.
Cool.
So we're gonna take the Gigas because it allows us to just have so much more extension. So we'll special our Gigas.
Oh, and guess what, guys? Because we control Go-Go Gadget Gigas, we can summon from the graveyard. Hang on, in this big old pile of rocks, our Go-Go-Go gloves because we control a Go-Go-Go monster. Isn't that whack?
Pretty nuts, honestly. So this is where the play lines kind of change up. It's all really just play style here, but now we can overlay 2 monsters, level 4, into an Abyss Dweller. And then, of course, everybody's favorite card, we will special summon our Block Dragon by banishing our Link Spider, our Grant Knight, and our Researcher. So these cards are now banished to get Block Dragon on field. And of course, we can link these 2, and then the gloves will be banished because it left the field from the graveyard into our IP Masquerena. And then, of course, Block Dragon did leave the field, so we are going to search a Seeker, a Gigantes, and then a Researcher for follow-up turn. So this is our ridiculous follow-up already.
This deck is disgusting.
Yeah, it's not fun.
I can't believe this is legal until at least September. I'm so sorry.
And then, of course, we do control a rock monster, so we are going to special summon our Adamancipator Seeker. And wow, guys, look at that. Isn't it ridiculous? Did you ever think you'd find yourself in a situation where you don't have the ability to excavate because you don't have room on the field?
Wow.
Disgusting. But we are going to sync our 6 and our 2 into our Borreload Savage Dragon. And of course, Savage is going to equip our Needle Fiber for 2 negates.
I'll just enter the deck if we're gonna equip. Are we doing that now?
We can. Let's see what we got first. So this is our hand. So a lot of boards do end on the Block Dragon again, which is probably the best bet. So we are going to do that. We're just going to banish the Seeker, the Guardian, and we don't have any other Earth targets in our graveyard, but we have 4 in our hand. Doesn't matter because we can search them next turn anyways. So we'll just banish the Doki Doki to re-summon out our Block Dragon. And then what's the last thing we always like to do here?
Oh, we're gonna use Union Carrot Target Borreload Savage to get our sweet little wealthy boy, Kiop. Equipped to Borreload Savage, you can't play the game anymore. And so it's at this point of the game, I'd like to pose a question for all of you. Now, being that this deck is clearly busted just by the board that we've created, and granted this is an ideal situation, what do you think, and I want you to put in the comments below, what do you think is the most problematic card in this deck? It could be any card, because there's plenty of choices. There are a lot of degenerate cards in this deck, but I want to know what you think, and I want you to give me a reason, because I have a lot, I'm sure you have a lot. I think that would be a really cool discussion, so let's have one in the comments, folks.
And that being said, also, we did do a profile beforehand when Link Cross and Needle Fiber weren't even out yet.
Yeah.
So you get this same board without those 2 cards. So it's still absolutely disgusting.
This
so
is
we have,
horrifying. Like, this is nauseating to look at.
Block Dragon is a really, really good IP target. So your options here for IP is you can link a 2 into your Appaloosa for 2, or you can go 2, 2, and 1 for 3. You can also go into a Unicorn to spin cards. You've got Absolutely No, you've got another Absolutely No, you've got no graveyard access. Like, it's literally ridiculous, and your opponent can't special summon from the extra deck. Disgusting.
This is horrible. Like,
disgusting.
We're not happy with this state of the game, and the fact that this is allowed for several months is insane to me. And like, I mean, to each their own, but yeah, like,
it's really fun.
This is what it can do. We're not saying it's perfect or that it's great, but this is what it can do. Also, do you like my beachy dice? They got little seashells in them. I don't know if you can see it, but they have little seashells in them.
Yeah.
Sorry, he was a 2. Oh, sorry. Oh, God.
Well, apparently we used this negate. But yeah, so just to show what this deck can do, on your opponent's turn, when they normal summon, you're basically just going to Block Dragon and we're going to go Masquerena into a Nightmare Unicorn, and then Unicorn will activate. You could discard the Researcher because you already have a copy of it to spin a card, and then because Block Dragon was sent, search yourself another Seeker, your Analyzer, because that can be your normal summon, or You could search yourself a Doki Doki. It realistically doesn't matter. But you now have 5 cards in hand. You spun their normal summon away. You still have 2 forms of interaction. And they can't use their extra deck. Plus, oh, wait a minute. We Abyss Dweller on their standby phase. So there's that too.
Aww.
So let's just say, right, that your opponent has probably some of the best cards in their hand, and they are able to out your Union Carrier, your Unicorn, you use this, and they out your Abyss Dweller. That's pretty ridiculous.
And you probably used a Savage.
Yeah.
But don't worry, they're not getting into their deck.
So let's just say that that is the case, right? So on our turn, we are going to draw a Guardian. Wow, that's really strong. We have 6 cards in hand still to work with, right? And we still have a Boral Sword in our extra deck. So with this amount of resources, plus more cards in our extra deck, so like, we'll just banish an Analyzer, special summon the Gigantes, and then now we control a Rock Monster. We could special summon Researcher, Researcher effect. We special summon the Gigas. And now you don't want to trigger the Gigas in graveyard because it does not allow you to attack the turn that you did that. We do control an Adamancipator monster, so we can also just special summon our Adamancipator Seeker. Keep in mind, we haven't committed to a normal summon yet. Absolutely nuts. So we can just link 2 here into a Cerberus, pop a card for free by discarding, we'll say our Doki Doki. And then of course we have 1, 2, 3, and 4 into our Boral Sword. We can still just normal summon our Analyzer, activate the effect. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Wow, we actually whiffed. That's not bad, but you know what we have in our graveyard, folks?
Extenders.
1, 2, 3.
Wow. Oh.
Furblock Dragon. So like, once again, just goes to show that even if your opponent clears this board, it's ridiculous. Like, you can go for game still in your next turn.
That's insane.
A lot of people think that this deck is dead after turn 1. Clearly, obviously that is not the case. This deck is ridiculously strong. There are so many problematic cards in this deck, but that's the game of Yu-Gi-Oh! So how do you guys think we should address this deck, and what do you think we should do to make this not as much of a problem?
How many cards need to be banned? Please let us know in the comments below. But yeah, this is it. This is the deck. Holy moly, if you're still here, thank you for sitting through this video. You're the absolute best. We hope you enjoyed this video. Thank you so much for watching. Again, remember, giveaway winner will be announced on Wednesday. We have a really fun opening going up tomorrow. It's going to be a fun week for Yu-Gi-Oh, guys. We're doing some deck profiles. It's going to be great. So stay tuned. Chaos Thunder is coming Wednesday. But yeah, that's it. We love you. You matter. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Tops, come say bye to your friends. Bye, guys.